Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. And in this video, we're going to be solving this problem from Krotov, which is related to, you could say, string constraints. So we have two rings O and O dash that are put on vertical stationary rods AB and A dash B dash respectively. An inextensible thread is fixed at point A dash and on ring O, and it is passed through the ring O dash. Okay, so it's passed through this ring and it is fixed to this particular ring. Now, assuming that the ring O dash moves downwards at a constant velocity of V1, we have to determine the velocity V2 of the ring O if this particular angle is given to be alpha. So we'll be discussing two methods to solve this problem, and we'll start with the easier one. And the first method of solving this problem would be taking the ring O dash, taking this particular ring as our frame of reference. Now, if we consider a frame of reference that is moving downward with a velocity of v1, then with respect to that frame, we'd observe two things. First of all, this particular ring over here will come to rest. It won't really be moving downwards now. This ring would be at rest. And secondly, the roof over here would appear as if it was moving upwards with a velocity of v1. Now, let's say in this relative frame that we just took, the velocity of this particular ring O is some VR. Okay. Now, as this string is inextensible, we know the length of this much part of the string must be constant. Now, this end of the string is moving upward with the velocity of v1, which is the same as the velocity of the wall, which means even this end has to be moving with the velocity of v1. So now, as we know, the ring is moving upwards with a velocity of VR, then the component of that VR along the string would decrease its length, and it is equal to VR cos alpha, right? So basically, VR is the velocity with which the ring moves upwards relative to this frame of reference, and the component of that VR along the string will reduce its length, and this rate of reduction of length must equal the rate of increase of length on this end, which is equal to V1, and hence we can say that V1 equals VR cos alpha. And from here, we can easily get VR as V1 upon cos alpha, as V1 and alpha are known quantities. So now if we want to go back to ground frame, all we have to do is add V1 vectorially to each of these. So if we add V1 vectorially to the wall, it will come to rest as it is in the ground frame. And if we want the velocity of ring O in the ground frame, all we have to do is add V1. So the net velocity of the ring O, so if we take the downward direction as positive, the net velocity of the ring O would be V1 minus VR, which as you can see is negative, which means the velocity of O is upwards, but the magnitude will remain the same. So this was method number one of solving this problem, and this is in my opinion the easiest way to solve this problem. Now method two is simply to use the string constraint relation. So basically we'll just find the length of the string as some function of alpha, and we'll just differentiate it and equate it to 0. So for that, let's just try to determine the length of the string. The length of this part of the string is A dash O dash. We can neglect this small angular deflection. We can assume as if this is almost vertical. So the length of the string would be, let's call this distance as some y1, and let's call this distance as y2. So the length of the string would simply be y1, which is the length of this part of the string. And now we have to determine the length of this part of the string. For that, let's just complete this right triangle. So this length over here is going to be y2 minus y1. And now using trigonometry, we can say the hypotenuse of this triangle is going to be y2 minus y1 divided by cos alpha. So the total length of the string on top of y1, we have y2 minus y1 upon cos alpha. So y1 dot or dy1 by dt is given to us as v1. So now all we have to do is differentiate this and set this value equal to 0. And from here we can get the value of y2 dot, which is the required answer. As you can see, while you'll be differentiating this term, there will be one term in which cos alpha needs to be differentiated. And for that, you need the value of d alpha by dt. And d alpha by dt is pretty much the rate of rotation of this line OO dash, right? So if I try to observe OO dash, let's assume the velocity of end O is V2 upwards. And let's say the velocity of O dash is V1 downwards. And this angle is given to be alpha. If I observe point O dash relative to point O, all we have to do is reverse and add the velocity of V2. So now it is given that this angle is alpha. So even this angle is alpha. So from here we can easily write d alpha by dt as v1 plus v2 sine alpha divided by the length OO dash, which is actually y2 minus y1 divided by cos alpha. And as you can see, this method is pretty lengthy. You guys can take it as a homework and try to finish this. So yeah, that was it for this video, guys. If you have any doubts, you can comment down below, and do like and subscribe to this channel if you enjoyed the video, and thanks for watching.